Hey there, Statterbox crew. Looks like we are live here on Halloween. Poppy Shaney, happy Halloween. Glad to see you're hanging out, just waiting for the show to start. We are going to be sharing some spooky stories today. Are they real? Did they happen? It's for you to decide. And it doesn't have to be a haunting story, it can be paranormal, like alien stuff or just whatever you can't explain. I want to hear that story, and I think the Statterbox crew does too. So, welcome to Chatter with Statter here on Sunday afternoon. Hi there, Michael Anthony Smith. Hey there, Elaine. Good to see you popping in. Oh, hey, Shock. Good to see you. Yikes. Oh, what? Yikes. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't like to see yikes sometimes, except for maybe, are you scared on this scary day? Did something scare you? Cindy Krause, good to see you too. Terry Gilmore, happy Halloween. Yes, that is right. I hope you guys have your trick-or-treaters all taken care of. And obviously, if you need to leave the stream because you've got knocks at your front door, well, I understand. Priorities are priorities, and Halloween means you got to give the candy to the kiddos. I personally don't have my porch light on, so hopefully we won't be getting too many knocks during this live stream. And luckily right now on the West Coast, it is still a little bit bright, so not too many trick-or-treaters yet out on the streets. Haven't seen a lot of the costumes, but I'm sure the kids are bundled up, cozy, and cute as ever. Jim McKinnon, good to see you. All right, now that we've got a couple folks in the house, let's do our, our intro. Okay, so it sounds like Michael Anthony Smith says that his ex took the porch lighting that you got for Father's Day. Well, that's not a very nice trick for the treating time of year. I hope you've at least got one light bulb on your porch so when you stumble up the stairs at night, you can sort of see what you're doing. Oh, exes, gotta love them, gotta hate them, gotta love to hate them, right? There you have it, Rabbit. Yeah, exactly, Kenny. If you're scared, say you're scared. Good to see you in the house, Kenny. And I have got a couple stories that Kenny wanted to share with pictures included. So I'm super excited to get the ball rolling on that paranormal point of view. Oh, hey, Chris, good to see you. Where you stay today on your truck driving routes? I'm sure you're not doing trick or treating. But maybe you're doing parking lot trunk or treating? No, I doubt that. But hey, yeah, where you stay right now, Chris? Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a couple days. I think you've been busy. Oh, good, Michael Anthony Smith. You do have lights on your steps. Excellent. Good to know. At least you're a little bit. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not, and maybe it was just growing up etiquette for my neighborhood, but when I was growing up, if the porch light, okay, on Halloween night when you're going trick-or-treating, if the porch light is on, that means they're welcome to having trick-or-treaters come to the door. And if the porch light is off, that means don't go bother these people. Come on. Well, apparently not everybody is aware of this rule, and I don't know, maybe my neighborhood just made this rule up when I was growing up, but I don't think so. I kind of think it's well known. Anyway, I had a neighbor across the street, the last place that I lived, and he used to get so annoyed because he's like, I don't have any decorations. I don't have any pumpkins. Why do the kids keep knocking on my door? And I was like, because your porch light's on, dude. And he's like, well, my porch light is on 24/7 all year round. And I was like, I know it is, but the kids don't know that. So one night a year, maybe turn your porch light off and you might be surprised. Lo and behold, he turned his porch light off and he didn't get any Halloween kids. So, whatever, dude. Like, come on, get with the program. I just don't know. He was the same age as me, a little bit older. I'm just not sure how he missed that rule. I mean, he went trick-or-treating. Didn't his trick-or-treating friends tell him of the rule? If it's not turned on, go? I don't know. So Chris, you are in Atlanta, Georgia, doing some trickers and or treaters, I see. All right, excellent. Terry Gilmore, no, it's not a new fall background, but it is because it's just a bunch of scarves that have been thrown over the upside down surfboards. I don't know why I keep the surfboards upside down now that I think about it, since they're covered. But the surfboards are upside down underneath all those scarves. But I have to move the set. Like, I have to tear down the set every time I am done with the show. So, when you move the scarves, they get floppy. So every time it's a brand new background in its own way. But you're right, actually, the things, there we go. The scarf right there does kind of look like a fall motif, and the colors certainly are warm and cozy, just like the fall colors. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, Terry, it's a new fall background. Right. I meant to do it. Right? No, I don't have music on, I don't think, but we will be putting it on in just a little bit, I think. Um, but thank you for reminding me. Although, do you hear music? Because if you do hear music, I don't know where that music is coming from. So, oops. But Michael Anthony Smith, thank you for reminding me. I just don't have it up right now because there's a video I want to play for you guys that has sound that I want you to hear. And I know that if I had music on in the background, I'd forget to turn that off. So once I play that video, then we will be getting back to the Lono musics, as it were. So let's see here. Mililani Graveyard at the statue. Is that what is that your story? You're gonna have to give more details about the scary story at the Mililani Graveyard, but graveyard stories, this is the day to tell them. Absolutely. So Elaine, okay, you had the same rule, only went to houses with porch lights on, even if all their house lights were on. Right, yeah, exactly. Because if the porch light's not on, but their house light's on, I mean, come on, it's only 8 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night. Of course they're going to be awake. But if their porch light's not on, that means they don't have any candy for you, so don't bother them. That's my logic, at least. So, Kenny, yes, light does bleed through the surfboard print when it's right side up, and that is what I said, but I'm not so sure that's why I keep it upside down. I think I just have it upside down because I never bothered to turn it right side up. So, yeah, so let's see here. It looks like Elaine has been to the Mililani Cemetery, and it is spooky. I really do enjoy cemeteries, and so if and when I get to Oahu in the next year, I might have to put Mililani Cemetery on my list. Yeah, for sure. So let's see here if I missed anybody. Looks like almost everyone is in the hale. Fantastic. All right. So, Michi Mama, I'm not so sure I did say hello to you. So, Michi Mama, hello. How you doing? Oh, really? Chris. Okay, so the statue at Mililani Graveyard, the statue is supposed to move and stare if you stare at it long enough. Oh, okay. Good to know. I definitely will be one of those stupid people who will go sit in the middle of the graveyard and stare at it long enough until it moves. Yeah, there we go. I promise you, I will make time to do that because that is right up my alley. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys remember back in the day, long, long time ago, when Andy was first starting off the Daily Pigeon, he was asking folks to send in pictures that they had taken of their trips in Hawaii, and we were supposed to all try to remember and guess where the pictures were. So I had a super hamajang picture. As you can see, supremely hamajang. It's got coffee stains on it. It's got a little bit of ballpoint pen writing on it. This is a picture. Yeah, Michi Mama. So yeah, type out your story in pieces and we can we can talk about it. We can talk about it for sure, without a doubt. That's what I'm hoping people can do. So yeah, so this picture, Ke'e Beach, up on Kauai, it's actually also a heiau where this particular photo was taken, and it is the place on Kauai where Laka presented the hula to the people of Kauai for the first time. So this is a heiau dedicated to Laka, the hula goddess, and so the energy on this particular platform of land is incredibly intense. Being in this location was unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life in regards to just, I don't know, the wind, the atmospheric pressure. There was just like a tension and a pressure. It's a very intense energy up there. And I know I sound like a total hippy dippy trippy whatever, but I really would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge how strange I felt when I was on that land. Now, in this exact spot, this is what I wanted you guys to hear. This video was taken in the exact spot, and I'm going to stop talking, but listen closely if you can, and hopefully the sound will come through. Okay, so now the story behind that video was this group of people, as they said, we were visiting an ancient Hawaiian heiau on the island of Kauai with a group of earth healers. My husband was filming the site after making some offerings and prayers. Listen to what we heard starting at the 19-second mark, and no, this is not his lens cover flapping. It is ancient Hawaiian drumming. Oh my God. I responded to this poster to let them know my experience on this particular piece of land, and they responded, we were with a shaman, an earth healer, and just completed a ritual while he chanted in ancient Hawaiian. It was obviously appreciated. So, did you guys hear, oops, hold on there. Did you guys hear the drums? You know, any kind of audio could have been added. I don't know. But what I can tell you is I have been to that piece of land. And if there was any paranormal activity coming from any place in the world that I have ever been to, it would be that piece of land. That's all I can say. So I thought that was pretty cool. Cool. Cindy, you heard the drums. Kenny, you heard the drums. Yeah, Terry Gilmore, Day Marchers, hard for save, right? Yeah, exactly. So let's see here. Chris, while I drive-in was open, never go to the restroom alone. It was haunted. True story. Okay. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Rick, good to see you. Okay. Boo. We got a big scare with Rickfoot in the house. That is it. All right. So I'm going to go back up a little bit because while I was showing off that video, which I just love, even though it's really freaky, I did miss some folks. So Terry, Statter will probably carry pork over the pally after midnight too. No, I won't do that, because let me just tell you right now, I'm not about to argue with Pele. I'm not going to get into an argument get in the middle of Lono and Pele. That's not Lono the god, not Lono the person. That is their business. I'm not going to poke a stick at that controversy. So no, I'm gonna keep myself safe. No pork over the pally after midnight. In fact, no pork over the pally any time of day. In either direction. Even though I know you can take it one direction and it's okay, it's the other you're not. But I don't care. We know take the pork on that road any time of day. So let's see here. Elaine says, our family always stayed with grandma and grandpa into the evening at their graves. I've seen wispy, swishy images disappear before the halekoa trees. Look, gone, eek, chicken skin. Yep, yeah, exactly. I've had, not with the Misties, I've had something a little bit different, but which I will talk about. But yeah, right now, let's see here. Michi Mama's got the beginning of her story. I worked at Verizon from 2000 to 2006. We had the entire floor of a building, and you could walk in a circle with cubies on the window side and kitchen, bathrooms, etc. in the middle. Okay, so we've set the scene. One floor of an office building, corporate office building, windows, lots of people working. All right, we can all envision this scene. We've probably been in a room like this, and if we haven't been in a room like this, we've certainly seen TV and movies with a room like this. So when Mitchie Mama's got the rest of the story, we'll hit it back up. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, Elaine, those drums, it did almost sound like it blows from the wind. Exactly, exactly. And Rick, yeah, you heard clicks on that video. It's their the video taker hypothesized that it was some ancient Hawaiian drumming. Obviously, that's up for your own skeptical or not skeptical mind to decide for yourself, but that was what that video was all about. And let's see here. So, Mitchie Mama, continuing on with her story. Remember, Verizon, corporate office, or not corporate office, corporate company, one floor of a building, going in on Sundays, probably not full of people, I'm guessing. Mitchie Mama says, I used to go in on Sundays to prep accounts for the coming week, and there was also another older lady who went in on Sundays. A few times she'd come in, talk story, and waste my whole day. Yeah, that happens. I mean, who really wants to work on Sunday? I had a whole stack. I still had a whole stack. That implies that it's been completed, right? I have a whole stack of work that I was going to do before I did this, and I didn't. Nope, I didn't. All right then. So, okay, Rick, good. Your arm is still sore, but you're much better today. Good. I'm glad that you got that third shot. I'm sorry that your arm is a little bit sore. And while we're waiting for the rest of Mitchie Mama's story, let's just talk about what we did last night. I want to thank you guys so much. If you were able to come hang out on Statterbox at the Cinema on Twitch, we watched Coco, a tearjerker of a movie, which I kind of was in denial about how much of a tearjerker it still was for me. I thought I could handle it, but I couldn't. Yeah, super enjoyed the movie, not only because the movie was good and beautiful, but because it went off without a hitch. And that was thanks to Shakalaka. And also, basically, it was just thanks to the luck of the draw. Somehow we managed to have a Statterbox at the cinema that went smoothly. And for that, I was very, very happy. And speaking of Statterbox at the Cinema being on Twitch, I'd like to remind everybody that Thursday we are switching over to Twitch, but I was thinking, you know what? Let's just make it a clean break. Starting November, i.e. tomorrow, we're doing it all on Twitch. Thursdays, Sundays, Saturdays, it's all Twitch, baby. So don't worry. We're going to I'm going to put the stuff up onto YouTube after the live streams are done. Now that's Chatter with Statter that's going up on the YouTube after the Twitch stream is done. Statterbox at the Cinema is still going to be erased the moment it's over. It's a time in life that will disappear as soon as it's over. We're not going to save those streams. So anything you do or say on the Statterbox of the Cinema will not last in perpetuity. Chatter with Statter, though, will be heading over in archives on YouTube because YouTube keeps archives longer. But the actual live show starting November is going to be Twitch only. All right, so Chris, he's got a little bit of a story here. Goofing around, me and a bunch of my friends walked down the old Pali Lookout Road to the end. On the way back, branches cracking and grunts. I took off running back to the car. I know, right? Because does it matter if it was haunted or if it was some dude or if it was a wild pig? Either way, I don't want to deal with it. I'm going back to the car. That's right. And Michael Anthony Smith, it's going to be all Twitch. So let's see here. And yeah, it was late night anyway, and you've been working hard, Michael Anthony Smith. I know you had to go to bed early, but I really appreciate that you swung by anyway. It was good to see you swinging in. And yeah, I'm sorry that you missed it, Cindy, because why did I think you were there? Did I dream that? All right, whatever. Mitchie Mama's got more of her story. Let's find out. So this older lady who used to talk story, and maybe waste a Sunday now and again, she used to wear rubber slipper. So one Sunday I heard the slippers coming from where her cubicle was located. I didn't want to talk, so I stopped everything and kept quiet. The slippers passed by my cubicle. The tension. Oh, Mitchie Mama. Now I really want to know. That's it, Rick. Leave no cinematic proof. Rick, Mitchy Mama, he says, I did the same thing all the time to my boss, acting real quiet in the cubicle in the little cubie so nobody will notice that you're there. Why is it that I have a feeling that this lady's been dead for 45 years? Well, we'll find out. Maybe only 43. So while we're waiting for the next chapter of the story, I'm just wondering, did you guys get any? Oh, wait, the story came in. It's hot off the presses. I waited 30 seconds before getting up from my chair to walk around the barricade of filing cabinets and cubby wall. It would have taken that amount of time to get the exit. All right. And shock, maybe because I have been dead for 45 years. Exactly. That's what I'm calling. All right. So what I was about to ask, though, is did you guys dress up this week? If so, what'd you dress up as? Or did you see any super, super, super cute, costumes from the kids? Oh, no. Hold on one second. What do you have? I think I have a proud kitty. The question is it going to fly or is it going to scamper? The question is, do I want to get up and find out? All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to look at... We're going to look at pumpkins for a minute. Apologies for that. All right, then. So the bird has been saved, flew away safely. We're good to go now. So, Mitchy Mama, she didn't exist. She didn't exit because those doors are so heavy and noisy, and I did not hear a thing. When I peeked into the walkway, I didn't see anyone. Oh, no. I started down the long hallway. I went into a complete circle. I checked both bathrooms and went into the side offices. Nothing. There was no one in the office. Oh. No, you know what? You're right. There would be no one in the office because after that, I would have left the office. Yeah, we'll do that work on Monday. Nope. We'll do that work on Monday. Yeah. I can't see, I can't show you the kitty because, and yes, Michael Anthony Smith, it was a kitty. That was Ashes. I can't show you the kitty because as soon as I opened the front door and let the bird out, the kitty went running after the bird. So kitty is back outside. It wasn't a mouse. It was a bird, but the bird was good enough to fly away. So the bird was actually pretty good. It was playing dead. It was just, I was like, oh no, I don't think this is alive. But then as soon as I opened the door and put my hand out, the bird was just like, score, I am out of here. Yeah, so that is that. Oh, no, wait, I'm not on mute. Am I on mute? No, I don't think I'm on mute. I hope not. Oh, no, I missed that. No, I did not mute the mic, so there is no screaming. That's so funny. Yeah, the kitty definitely brought me something. I wouldn't call it a treat. I'd say it was a little bit more of a trick, and that was the trick that I that I did. Yeah. So, yeah, Mitchy Mama, I'm happy for the bird too. So tell me though, Mitchie Mama, like, did you hightail it out of that office, or like, what was, did you, yeah, like what Terry Gilmore, exactly. I'm right there with you. Did you stop going to the office alone on Sundays? Like, what? And what was the story with the lady? Like, did she really, like, I'm dying to know, man. Like, did the lady really exist ever? Oh gosh, yeah, no, that is freaky because yeah, the noises of your office, the sounds of the rubber slipper, you know, and there's no, I mean, I guess there's hallucinating that sound, but why would like, yeah. Tell us more about your Sunday routine, Mitchie Mama. Did you stop going to the office alone? Because I would have. This girl would have. Absolutely. So, all right. So, Kenny, until we'll find out more about Mitchie Mama's denouement, as it were, of her story. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is try to remember. So, okay. So, Mitchie Mama, no, it was bright daylight. So I wasn't afraid. You're a braver woman than I am. But I did not stay past 5 p.m. See, there you go. Exactly. So, okay, so what was I going to do? Oh, here we go. This is it. All right, so Kenny sent me 2 different stories, both of which are creepy in their own right, but in very different ways. Yeah, so we're first going to talk a little bit about this spot in the hill country of Texas called Dead Man's Hole. Now, I'm not going to get into the history of Dead Man's Hole, but I'll give a little bit of a background. Oh, hey, Darlene, good to see you in the middle of a sewing project. No need to apologize for being late. Once you're sitting down and focused on something like that, you got to wrap it up to the right spot, and there's no break in that focus. So yeah, come on in when you can. It's all good. Okay, so wait, hold on. We're still not done with Mitchie Mama's story. So wait, hold on. I'm getting all ahead of myself here. I got to talk about Mitchie Mama. So one employee told me that there was an entity in the supply room, but you can't say that you really believed her. Well, okay. Rick, your 6-year-old grandson was the Hulk today. The 8-year-old granddaughter dressed up as a zombie, and so it begins. There you go. Oh, hey, you guys, I'm not sure if you were on Facebook today, but on the Daily Pigeon Live Facebook page, I don't know if you saw what Keola P dressed up as, but it was the cutest Andy Bumatai costume I have ever seen in my life. It just made my heart warm. So, yeah, right. Yeah, Terry Gilmore, I'm right there with you. Terry Gilmore says to Mitchie Mama, my scaredy self would have been afraid to ever be the last person to leave the office after that. Well, I just said after that, but that's exactly it. Yeah, and Mitchie Mama, this is downtown Honolulu, so there might have been a graveyard under the building. Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on. Michael Anthony Smith, you saw the Keola P picture. Yeah, he totally nailed it. Tori Richards and everything. And the Tori Richards from the video too, which is just it's so flippin' cute. Yeah, absolutely cute. So, all right. So we're talking about cute things. Now we're going to go back to things that maybe aren't so cute. So Dead Man's Hole, which I need to get back to that picture. All right. So Dead Man's Hole is a place in the hill country of Texas that apparently is like a natural, it was formed naturally by a natural gas deposit or something. And it's a tunnel that like goes deep into the ground. And at times in our history, people were maybe put in that hole and the like. So lots of dead bodies at the bottom of that hole for reasons we're not going to get into. And that particular slot of land has turned into a park. The private owners donated it to a park. And the parks company over the hole put a metal cap, basically, so people don't go falling in the hole. You don't want Timmy down in the well. There you go. So, all right. So let's see here. So here's the okay. So Kenny's got some background. The hole is 15 stories deep. So, it goes deep. It goes deep, right? All right. So that's the background of Dead Man's Hole. There's a reason why it's called Dead Man's Hole. Lots of dead men were put in that hole for reasons we're not going to get into. But here we go. In 2016, my then girlfriend Mary and I went to check out Dead Man's Hole just outside of Marble Falls, Texas. At the time, we were both interested in becoming paranormal investigators and decided to check out whatever paranormal stuff our immediate area had to offer. An internet search got us interested in Dead Man's Hole, so off we went. When we got there, it was late afternoon. We went up the path to the hole and checked it out. I even went so far as to step off the rock rim onto the iron plate that caps the hole. After neither of us experienced anything except blazing summer heat, we decided to go back to town, get some dinner, cool off, and come back after dark. It was around 11 p.m. when we got to the empty gravel patch where most people parked by the hole. We were the only ones there. We confirmed that by scanning the surrounding area with my truck's headlights and 2 very powerful flashlights. The surrounding scrub was far too thin to hide even a small child, and it was visually obvious that we were alone. I turned off my truck's lights and Mary and I headed back to the hole. As we got close to the hole, our lights revealed what looked to be a grayish, pulsating mist in and around the hole. Upon closer inspection, it was revealed that it was an unimaginably huge swarm of daddy long-legged spiders swarming up from the drain hole in the iron plate. That was enough for both of us. We headed back to the truck at a brisk pace. Once we got back to my truck, we stood there in the darkness, our flashlights off, and tried to capture EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon, is what EVP stands for. We tried to capture EVPs with our cell phones. We got nothing, not even the sound of the night breeze, as there was no breeze that night. It was dead silent out there. No animal sounds. No breeze. No other people or vehicles that we could see. I've spent enough time in the sticks to know that if you don't hear any sounds of nature, not even crickets, something is very wrong. I can't describe the negative energy that washed over Mary and me. It was the only time in my life I've ever actually felt goosebumps and had the hair on my neck and arms standing straight up. We moved to get back in the truck, and before we could open the doors, we both clearly heard a voice yell, very loudly, and seemingly very close, "Hey, get out!" And that we did. I floored the engine and made my truck's V8 engine roar. At one point, I skidded sideways in a sharp left-handed curve. I didn't let off the gas until I saw the reflection of the stop sign where that county road intersected with US 281. When we played back our phone recordings, we did hear what sounded like a breeze or something blowing across our cell phone mics, even though we could neither hear nor feel a breeze that night. The only evidence that remains from that night is one of the pics I took, the pic that we're showing right now, when I first got out of my truck upon arrival that night. Mary and I deleted everything else from our phones. We're not a couple anymore, and when we do talk, we don't talk about that night. I can't speak for Mary, but after all the weird, creepy, unexplainable stuff I've experienced over the course of my life, I have no more appetite for paranormal investigating. Okay, so you had me at the spiders, man. That pulsating, and I've seen videos of that. Daddy longlegs, when there's thousands of them, do end up looking like a pulsating mass of some singular something. So yeah, I can totally see how you guys thought that was some kind of mist, and then yeah, no. So yeah, let's see here. Hey, Robert Smalling, good to see you. Seward Park in the house. Let's see. So Mitchie Mama, continuing on with her story, the corporate office where my boss is located is supposed to have a little boy haunting the place. My boss told me that she saw the boy in the kitchen and he was disappearing into the closet by walking through the shutter doors. Yeah, well, that's not something a real boy can usually do. We learned that from watching Coco last night. Yeah. So Darlene, sorry, but you won't catch me looking for a spirit of any kind. Call me chicken. I don't care. And Terry's like, yeah, I'm with you on that. So Chris, let's see here. You travel New Mexico a lot, so it caught your attention. Highway was changed from Interstate 666 to 491. Never slept on that shoulder again. I drove southbound on Highway Route 666 many years ago on a road trip, and it's really weird because I'm not sure if you know this or not, but Route 666 was actually for a time being the most deadly highway in the United States. And there's an actual legitimate reason. It has nothing to do with 666. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Route 491 is equally as deadly as Route 666 was. It has everything to do with going from a dry Indian reservation to a town that's not dry and all the drunk driving that goes on between the two. But yeah, Route 666, yeah, they had to change the name, didn't they? So Mitchie Mama, in 2010, your boss let you work in the on the dirty carpets. I had this new amazing product and I needed to develop protocols on how to use it properly. You used to go in 2 p.m. Saturday and Sunday morning, but the little boy never appeared for you. But sometimes you used to have a funny feeling, chicken skin. Yeah, exactly. It's, just because our eyes can't sense it doesn't mean that there isn't an energy there. And I'm not particularly saying that, of course, the little boy was there or whatever. I'm just literally referring back to my experience up at the Heiau. There was some energy there that I could feel. Yeah. So let's see here. Elaine says, we lived in Nob Hill Townhouse in Mililani Town. Our dog barked and growled with fur standing along her back at nothing there. Everyone in the complex said it was haunted. So your story will be very creepy. Well, by all means, if you've got more to that story, which frankly, your dog seeing something with his hackles raised, that's freaky enough. And, dogs and cats can see different light spectrums than we can. So just because you can't see it, doesn't mean that your dog wasn't seeing something. Oh, okay, Bitchy Mama, correction. 2 a.m. for the protocols of the cleaning. And no wonder you were looking for the little boy. You're there in the middle of the night. Come on, little boy. This is the time for you to run and play normally. Come out and play. Or maybe don't come out and play, right? Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so it looks like Rick and Michael Anthony Smith are having a conversation about Spirit Live Loop Artist. I guess he's got maybe a new name, Spirit Music, Musik, Twitch channel. Okay, couple short videos, but yeah, if you were into Spirit Live Loop Artist, then by all means, definitely check out that new Twitch channel. So I feel like I missed something that I wanted to talk about, but I cannot find it, so I guess I won't talk about it. Yeah, all right, so there we go. I'm not going to talk about it, but I will say this. I drove through a cemetery once with one of my friends, and we ran a tape recorder through the entire time. So yeah, Rick, totally. Spirit fits into the Halloween stuff. Absolutely. It was a perfect day to bring up this conversation with Spirit Live Soup Art. That guy, his music channel. It's perfect time to bring it up. Spirit Live Loop Artist, now known as Spirit Music. Words are hard. Yes, yes, yes. But anyway, yeah, so driving through the cemetery with my friend, we had our tape recorder running so we could catch the EVPs, just like Kenny was trying to do. And I'll tell you what, listening back on that recording, there was some really weird noises that definitely were not part of the conversation that Angela and I were having in the car that day. I mean, like noises that sort of sounded like, you know how when you play a record backwards, it was like voices that were talking but backwards kind of thing. Um, so yeah, uh, I don't, and the thing is, funny thing is, um, no, I have not been partying, and I wasn't partying when we heard the EVPs. We were 100%, well, maybe not 100% sober. We might have been a little bit stoned, but nothing to hallucinate. And, um, and so it was just, even though like, we went out of our way. I mean, we went out of our way. We drove across town to like the biggest, oldest cemetery that we could think of in Seattle. And, I mean, we made an effort to do this. And so we play the recording and we freak ourselves out with the recording. And at that point, it's just like, well, what were you thinking? I mean, you went out and you successfully did what you went out to do, and now you freaked yourself out. I'm not really sure, what we were thinking, but there we go. That's one of my little paranormal stories. I've got a couple of others up my sleeve, but let's see what Elaine has to offer. So one night, I thought I was dreaming. I heard a man and a woman running down our stairwell talking to each other. I jumped out of bed, ran to the hallway, only to find my son at his door and my daughter. Oh, okay. So this is something that like everybody heard. All right, let's see where this goes. I don't know if I like this already. I'm already getting goosebumps. And the story will probably end like, and they were eating ice cream. It's just like, oh, I got goosebumps for no reason. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, so Chris, yeah, I heard that 666 was supposed to be haunted. But if it was haunted, I'm really not so sure that changing the name to Highway 491 is going to change whether or not it's still haunted, right? I mean, I don't, I'm certainly not an expert on how hauntings work, but I didn't think that merely changing the name of the place would make the ghosts go away, right? Um, yeah, so, um, Rick, as a kid, after trick-or-treating was done, we'd go start eating our candy in this nearby cemetery. Nice and quiet there. Well, Rick, it is nice and quiet there. In fact, many years ago, when I used to ride a bike a lot more avidly than I do now, I was thinking to myself, God, wouldn't it be great if I could find a place to ride my bike that was totally pathways that are paved and open green spaces like a park, but not filled with people. Do you know where I'm going with this? And suddenly it occurred to me, hey, that describes the cemetery up the street from my house. And so I used to, more than I should have, I used to go ride my bike in the cemetery because there aren't a lot of people there. Whereas the parks in Seattle are kind of crowded. And if you want to go booking on your bike and just like go as fast as you can, you can't do that when there's a lot of pedestrians because you could hurt somebody. I've almost hurt people on my bike many times. And not only do you almost hurt somebody, chances are you're going to hurt yourself too, and you're probably going to wreck your bike. So I wanted to go someplace with the same kind of paths, the same kind of open green space, but without the people. Seemed like a good idea, right? Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, Kenny, exactly. When it comes to old houses, you can explain most of the noises you hear in your old house, but the ones you can't kind of creep you out. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Chris, Mad Statter, Old Cemeteries, ever seen fireballs? I did back home. No, I've never seen the fireballs, but I have actually seen the balls of light dancing, which is freaky enough, and as someone who wears glasses and before that wore contacts, I just chalked it up to like reflection, but you know, I still am convinced it might not have been. Yeah. Let's see. Shock, quiet until the screaming starts. I've never heard too much screaming in cemeteries. I did once in a cemetery hear a howl of despair, but that was from me when I wrecked my dad's car. No, I didn't wreck my dad's car on a gravestone, thank God. Um, but yeah, I wrecked my daddy's El Camino in a cemetery one night. Somebody told me I should write a country song about that, but yeah, there you go. Um, that's it. So, yeah, the mental hospitals are now, when it comes to going places after dark in searching for hauntings, I have obviously no fear in regards to the cemetery action, but you will, no, mental hospital, you're never going to catch me. Not even in daylight, I don't think. No, I've seen way too many. No, no, the mental hospitals, now that is where the freaky stuff happens. So, and I don't know, maybe freaky stuff also happens in stairwells. Let's find out what Elaine has to say to continue her story. So she hears the voices running down the stairs and comes and finds that her daughter, so her son and her daughter are also at their doors. My son said, "Did you hear that?" My daughter said, "I heard a man and a woman. They ran down the stairs." We checked out the front door and the back patio both still locked. Oh, wow. Right. So you guys are hearing things, what, I guess, in the house, but there's no way anybody could be in the house. No, the call is coming from in the house. Yeah, no, that's not good. Andre, I'm not at all surprised, but Andre says, oh, by the way, Andre, hey, how's it? Good to see you. So Andre says, you do know that the cemeteries in America after the Civil War were used like parks before real public parks were opened. No, I did not know that, but it's logical. I mean, seriously, cemeteries, as neat as some of the monuments are, they're kind of a waste of space, right? I mean, there's a lot of bodies and they take up a lot of room. So you might as well double duty that land action, right? I mean, I guess that's a controversial take. But I can totally see how a cemetery would be a park, as per my bike riding, stuff. So there you go. Um, oh, Rick, you're so evil. So eating candy in the cemetery, then he also sneaks up on other kids walking through the cemetery. Oh, Rick. Rick Foot has been around since the beginning of time, I think. Yeah. Um, Mitchie Mama, sorry I wrecked my dad's El Camino, but my description was funny. Yeah, I kind of think it's a funny story. My parents didn't think it was a funny story. I went to the cemetery to watch an eclipse that actually, as it turned out, wasn't happening that night. It was happening the next night, so that didn't work really well. My parents thought I was in the cemetery to go do drugs, and it was just like, no, I'm actually like the one. I mean, I know under normal circumstances, I probably would have been in the cemetery to be doing drugs, but in that particular case, I was in the cemetery actually for the eclipse, which, like I said, happened the next day. But I thought it was happening that night. And if I was using that as an excuse for doing drugs, why would I have picked an eclipse that didn't even happen that night? I mean, the one time I was telling my parents like the truth about where I was and what I was doing, it was like the one time they didn't believe me. It was kind of annoying, actually. Yeah. So Elaine continues. Our dog was shivering, shaking under my bed. My son and daughter both described their dreams, and we finished each other's sentences. We had the same dream. Oh, weird. And then the hallway was cold like a freezer. Oh, everything you're saying is just making it worse, Elaine. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So the dog was in on it. Your kids were in on it. You were in on it. That was some powerfully bad juju or whatever. I wonder who those people were. Um, Back when they were people. Oh, yeah. So there you go. I don't know. Cindy Krause, friend Ellen, the shaman, and I were on my lanai. She was going to her shaman healing. And the drum sitting all alone started thumping. Things that make you go, oh yeah, totally. That drum just started playing itself. Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, Thomas the Turtle, good to see you. It's the digital campfire spooky stories. Yep, cemeteries are a good place to learn to drive. Well, not if you don't want to wreck your daddy's El Camino. I mean, I know actually cemeteries probably are a good place to learn to drive, but not this particular one. This particular one, the problem was, see, it was a narrow dirt road that had a 45 degree 90 degree, 45, 90 degree, had a 90-degree corner. And at the corner were pillar posts. And I was so focused on making sure I didn't hit the pillar post in front of me with the front of the car that I didn't really pay attention to the car's position against the other one. And so I ended up like running the passenger side door all along the post that I didn't think I would hit in the name of not hitting the post I thought I was gonna hit. So yeah, that wasn't a good cemetery to learn to drive in. It's a good cemetery to wreck a car in though. Yeah. Shock. Did I total that El Camino or just damage it? No, I damaged it pretty seriously. But they did repair it. And in the repairs, they found a whole bunch of rust rotting, like from the inside out. And so it cost a little bit more to repair than they thought it would. And so, so I tried to spin it to my dad. I was like, well, maybe it's a good thing I got into a wreck. So they found the rust. Yeah, that went over like a Led Zeppelin. No, they weren't buying that. They were not pleased with that at all. Yeah. So let's see here. All right, cool. Change your devices and we'll see you in a minute, Michael Anthony Smith. Andre, let's see. Your horror story starts in a redwood forest in Oakland Hills. And you see, and we'll see why I do not like redwood forests. All right, then. Yeah. So, I don't know what scene in Galaxy Quest you're referring to, but if my driving was like something out of a comedy movie, I will absolutely own up to that. Yeah. So, Andre, our cemeteries are all paved around here with roundabouts, fountains, and streets going past hoods of mausoleums. Yeah, this particular cemetery actually, was really old. Like it's the kind of cemetery that they don't bury bodies in anymore. It was out in the sticks, where we were going to have like super dark for the eclipse. I mean, there was a method to our madness. Yeah, this was a super, super, super old cemetery that isn't in use anymore. So it was just gravel paths and things like that. Yeah, most of the cemeteries in the Seattle area, and all of them that are still in use, obviously, they're all fancy pants with the paved and everything, and the mausoleums and this, that, and the other thing. And that's why I like, that's why I like to ride my bike in the cemeteries, because the paths are all paved and it's smooth sailing. So yeah, yeah. So let's see here. So Elaine, all right, the next night I had a nightmare and I opened my eyes to see a black shadow cloud, evil face right above you in bed. Couldn't move your hands or your feet, nor breathe. Wow, but you felt its pressure on your body. You don't know. Then we're going to wait for more. Yeah, exactly, Thomas the Turtle. Let's not go to, no offense, Elaine, but we might not want to go hang out at your house. It sounds a little scary. Yeah. Oh, Darlene, see, you're so kind and thoughtful, and you're totally right. It was a rough, narrow road, gravel, not easy to drive, especially in the evening. It totally can happen. And it totally did happen. Unfortunately, my parents were a little bit skeptical. And given the circumstances of life at the time, 16, anyway. I can see why they were skeptical, but the irony is, like, the one time I was telling them the truth, they did not even come close to believing me. So, Let's see here. Oh, Chris. All right. So here's another one. Anyone remember Camp Erdman back home in Hawaii? The one cabin was haunted. I don't remember that, but that doesn't mean that there isn't somebody here who doesn't remember that. I'm assuming Camp Erdman's probably on Oahu, I'm guessing. And I'm not at all surprised that an old camp might have something haunted, because old camps, aren't they usually like, they oftentimes aren't built as camps. They're built as like former military things or former logging things or former blah 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 things. And so who knows what those former things did, or the people in those former things is what I really meant to say. Okay, so Camp Erdman is up in Wailua on the beach. Okay. Oh, Shock. I've heard, even Shock has heard about Camp Erdman hauntings. Yeah, okay, okay. So what's this? So what are the famous stories? Just that there's one, like what's, okay, so there's the one that's haunted. Is it haunted like by a dog or by a boy or by a Freddy Krueger, or what's the story with that one? Um Oh no, Michael Anthony Smith. All right, go fight the good fight with your router. You're losing audio. I'm so sorry. That's I have to say, Michael Anthony Smith, that is something I don't think I've ever heard in relation to me. I'm losing audio and I can't hear you. I lived with a deaf guy who could even hear me, so I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say, I can't always hear you. That's that's a good one. I mean, I'm sorry. Clearly your router is failing if you can't hear me. Elaine, I don't swear at all, but I suddenly remembered someone said it works. I choked out the F word and told it to get out, swearing more. It smiled, then disappeared, gone. My body was like ice. Whew, I lit a big old joint and lit the house on fire is what I would probably write after that, but I'm sure you're going to probably write, I lit a candle to calm my nerves, because that would have been the smart thing to do. Yeah, so what did you light up, Elaine? Because after something like that, no, no. Um, yeah. Darlene, someone told us that the Hawaiian Gardens and other areas like beaches too that are haunted didn't search those out. Yeah, you see, I'm one of those stupid people who would go do that. And there's that guy whose name escapes me, but he does that whole haunted Hawaii thing. I mean, he's got a YouTube channel, but I think he actually does tours and stuff too. I absolutely would be one of those stupid haole tourists who just be like, "Let me give you my money. Show me. Take me there." Because I'm an idiot. But I would do it. Um, Photo Luke was talking about Erdman. Oh, okay, so I'll have to talk to Photo Luke to get some details about that. Oh, Chris, so supposedly a girl died there. Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Hey Belly Bear, good to see you. It's okay. You're baking cookies for your trick-or-treaters. You only have a little bit of candy. Wow, really? See, interesting. Now, do people and the families take your homemade sweets? Because in our area, it is sort of considered like you give out the prepackaged stuff. Like homemade stuff is, yeah, we're a paranoid city up here in Seattle, and public service announcements say don't take the homemade stuff, don't give out the homemade stuff, which sort of sucks because when I was a kid, homemade caramel apples and homemade popcorn balls were two of my favorite things to get as a trick or treater. Now, candied apples, those were not anything I wanted, and luckily nobody ever gave those out. But whoever thought candied apples was a good idea? I mean, caramel apples, don't get me wrong, they're a little bit tough on the teeth, but they're delicious and they're still edible. Candied apples, though, with that hard sugar coating, I mean, like, what is the point? Really pretty, but what is the point of a candy apple? Someone explain to me. I don't get it. Michi Mama. All right, so the condo across the way on the other side of Kuyo School is supposed to be haunted. Part of the land was a Hawaiian cemetery, so lots of spooky stories. Interesting. I've heard that the Royal Grove Hotel in Waikiki is also haunted. And there's one particular, I can't remember what the room number is, but there's one particular room that is specifically known or consistently known as like being the freaky one. There's more than just one, but like this one, it's just like that's the one. And honestly, because I'm stupid, it's just like, ooh, I want to go stay there. I want to go stay there. And and then I go stay there, and then I'll be the first one just like, I want a refund now. I believe, please, I want a refund now. Yeah. Let's see here. Um, so, right, exactly. Oh, Kenny, it's like you've known me all my life. There are unborn children in the heart of the Amazon rainforest who can hear statter. Pretty much. Yep. I'm not yelling. I'm just talking my normal voice. Yeah. Oh, okay, Belly Bear. Cookies just for the people who know you. Fantastic. Good. See, I would like, okay, good. I would be super stoked to come hit your house. So Elaine, okay, so you lit incense. Brilliant. See, perfect. All right. And put little pouches of Hawaiian rock salt out at all the doors and windows. Did smudge sticks and tea leaves. Never had another incident again, but we moved from that place. Whew. Yep. Exactly. Let's see here. Oh, Michael Anthony Smith, darn it. Your internets are not able to handle the Halloween horrors today. All right. Well, hopefully your systems will be able to handle us later on in the future, but thank you so much for heading in, at least trying. And, I hope to see you soon. And, let's see, Belly Bear, did you miss some good stories? Well, you missed a story that Kenny sent about Dead Man's Hole, and that was sort of a disembodied voice story. Kenny sent in another story that I'll be getting to in a little bit. But yeah, and then Mitchie Mama had some phantom slipper noises. Yeah, we had some good stuff. You might want to check the rerun for the sort of spooky stuff. Let's see here. And Andre's in the middle of telling us a spooky stuff. So let's find out more about Andre's spooky stuff. I was going on a walk in the Redwood Regional Park, not too far from the parking lot. I was walking with my girlfriend and some other person. We said hello. And she said, wait, hold on. I was walking with my girlfriend and some other person. We said hello. She and we as her if she knew this trail. Okay, I'm a little bit confused on that. So we're going to get back to this because it's going to make sense. But right now we don't have enough info. Kenny, the popcorn balls were more prized. Hold on, let's see here. The popcorn balls with cinnamon back in the day during Halloween were more valued than full-size candy bars. Oh, see, I don't know about that. The full-size candy bars were always like the king of the mountain in our bags, as it were. Oh, Belly Bear, when you lived in Spokane in your younger days, you heard witchcraft stories about Rathdrum, Idaho. People would go missing. Yeah, well, Idaho's a scary place for a lot of reasons. I'm not really surprised. I'm not really surprised that people might go missing out there in the woods like that. All right, Terry Gilmore, speaking of trick-or-treaters, they are ringing the doorbell. Wow, that's awful early for trick-or-treaters over in Hawaii. But yeah, go answer. Go give them candy. Go give them. Go give them. Yeah, I think it might be Lopaka Kapanui who does the Mysteries of Hawaii. Yeah, and I would totally want to give him money. And Glenn Grant, is he the same guy, Glenn Grant Chevrolet? Because we had a Glenn Grant Chevrolet up here in our neck of the woods. I wonder if that's the same one. So Glenn Grant, though, that Mitchie Mom was talking about, used to walk down the road to the cemetery as he conducted his ghost tour. Right, yep. Oh, okay. So the chick that you said hi to, she said, and thought that the chick, all right, we're going back to Andre. On the trail, Redwood Forest, said hi to a lady, thought she knew the trail. She said no, she just arrived on a plane here today, and we said okay. We see in the distance a man leaning over a hammock that was stretched across the trail in our way, and a dog as we got closer, it seemed. Well, that's already weird. Like, where's this going, Andre? Because that's already sketchy. Like, a hammock across a trail in a park? What's up with that? And yeah, I just quoted a SNL thing, but whatever. Ooh-wee, what is up with that? What's up with that? And oh yes, and eMusic. Thank you so much. Did everybody hit the like button? It's time to hit the like button if you have not hit the like button. And hit that subscribe button too if you're not subscribed. And hit that notification bell. Hit all the things. Come on, join the party. And let's see, we've got so Belly Bear, my brother and Air Force buddies went for a drive on a road that said witchcraft items sold here, and they turned onto the road and it never ended. Guys turned around and booked. Well, I'm sure the road must have ended, right? Hard to say. All right, cool. You're gonna head on out. Yeah, well, it's getting to be dark over there in the Atlanta, Georgia area, Chris. So grab some dinner if you haven't and go moi moi. And hopefully we will see you next Thursday. Remember, you guys, next Thursday we're gonna be on Twitch. We're making the switch to Twitch come November. Everything's gonna be on Twitch. Same time for all the different shows. The 4:30 for the chatter, the 6 p.m. for the cinema, but it's all Twitch, baby. All Twitch. All Twitch, all the time, except for when we're not on. Yeah, exactly. So, okay. All right, so, wait, hold on. So, okay. So Chris is saying, she said no, she just arrived on a plane. That's the chick that they saw on the trail. We see in the distance a man leaning over a hammock that was stretched across the trail in our way, and a dog. As we got closer, it seemed the person was dead or dead asleep, and the guy's face we could not see or almost was not there. The dog looked like it wanted us to take him with us, but it just struck us all that we walked into. Dun dun dun. I don't know what they walked into other than something really weird. Okay, here we go. But it just struck us that we all walked into. Hold on, where did it go? There we go. Something not of this world, and we just felt like we should run. And even the lady that had walked with us started running. Even as we ran past it, it did not seem like the man had a face. I keep hearing of these stories of people without faces, and I don't run, both out of principle and physical capabilities, but I think if I saw someone without a face, I would be running or doing as best of a run thing that my chubby body could do. Yikes. Yeah, no, I don't like that. So Belly Bear says, another time up by Fairchild Air Force Base, my brother, again, and his buddies, again, parked to party in the car, but something picked up the back of their car, and shook it. When the car was back on the ground, they took off. No tracks. Yeah, fudge that, my friends. Fudge that. No. No. Yeah. Did I mention no? Uh, yeah, Kenny Casey, you've got that Billy Idol song. Very, very appropriate. Eyes Without a Face. So, Ann Ware says that I never get trick-or-treaters here. I guess I'm the spooky haunted house down the long, dark driveway in my neighborhood. Well, yeah, long, dark driveways, unless you've got that lit up, I'm not going down that road. No, thank you. All right, Mitchie Mama's got another one. My brother said his house in Vegas was haunted by a little girl. Another child visited one time and said he could see her. I forget the girl's name, but his dogs could see her too. Yeah, I've heard that kids are much more prone to being able to see those in the spirit world. And I had a Japanese person explain to me why that is. According to Japanese belief, like kids and elderly people are not fully of this world. They still straddle the spirit world. So as you're leaving the spirit world to become a human and then become fully human, then you become fully, and then you go back to the spirit world. So elderly people, like Coco last night that we were seeing, they are closer in touch with the spirit world and then the children are also closer in touch with the spirit world. I have no doubt in my mind that I explained that really poorly. Apologies if I have offended anyone of Japanese culture or ancestry who has a much greater understanding of what it is that I just said. But that's the vague understanding of what I was told. So there you go. Devin, good to see you. Yes. Yeah, everybody try to help Michael Anthony Smith figure out how to work his technology, because I think we all know I cannot help Michael Anthony Smith work any technology because I barely know how to work my own. So, Andre says, we ran scared like we were being chased, but that thing and the other, shut up. Okay. Let me tell you what Andre just said. We ran scared like we were being chased by that thing. The other lady disappeared somewhere, and we ran all the way to the road. And Mad Statter, I am not a runner in the fight or flight menu. Yeah, totally. Yes. Oh my goodness. So the other lady disappeared, and yeah, no need for the redwood forest. Yeah. No need for the redwood forest. I can see why you're like, yeah, I'm good here in the city. It's all good. So, yeah, wow. Michael Anthony Smith, I don't talk to anyone. I have people come up to me and say, I've been here 15 years. I've never seen you. Did you just get here? I said, no, I've been here 25 years. So you're like a living ghost. Oh no, this was a city redwood forest. Oh no. Oh, even worse. You weren't even out in the sticks. But I had something similar-ish happen once, and I've told this story before, but we're gonna hear it again. So, the holo holo that I did a couple weeks ago through the forests of my my college, right? So, as you guys, if you saw that particular stream, you might be familiar or remember that the trees are rather thick. The forests are kind of thick. So, we left the dorms, hit the forest trail, and we had to go through the forest for like maybe half a mile to get to the meadow in the middle of the forest where we had a full moon fire circle, because it was a full moon that night. And because I went to a hippie school, every full moon there's a full moon fire circle. So Rachel, Holly, and I, Jamie, and Nathan, 5 of us, decided to go to the full moon fire circle. It is pitch black in the woods. None of us have flashlights. So it is very, very difficult to see the trail. But we've also all taken this trail 1,000,008,000 times, and it's basically a straight shot, so you don't really need flashlights. I mean, anyway. So Nathan and Jamie take off down the trail way faster than Holly, Rachel, and I. Holly, Rachel, and I are much less sure-footed, and our eyes are not adjusting to the light as quickly as the guys' eyes seem to have. We are 3 across, holding each other 3 across the trail, sort of like lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And we're slowly going down the trail. As we're going down the trail, we're watching Nathan and Jamie go further, and we're seeing their shadow get tinier and tinier. Well, finally, we don't see Nathan anymore, but we can still see Jamie. And then Jamie stops. And we continue, and Jamie's waiting for us. And then finally, Jamie is just like, screw it, forget this. So Jamie starts coming back up the trail to us. And he's coming up. Well, suddenly he's like starts to run at us, right? And like he's booking it fast. And he's just running and fast. And eventually he gets right to us, and he like wasn't slowing down. He wasn't stopping. And so as he hits us, Holly, Rachel, and I, all of us scream and like let go of each other and, break our 3 wide. And we're like, and there's nothing there. There was nothing. And I was like, I thought Jamie, and Rachel was like, Jamie came running. And Holly's like, I thought Jamie was going to hit us. I mean, we all like put our story together. We all saw the exact same thing, which was this black shadow that we all had identified as Jamie's shadow retreating and then Jamie's shadow coming. Our brains all made the same connections and what we were witnessing, only there was not one thing there. We freaked ourselves out so bad. We couldn't stop laughing. We were so noisy. People were pissed by the time we got to the full moon fire circle because we definitely made an entrance. But we had ourselves so freaked out. Oh my God. It was, I mean, I still to this day actually kind of remembering it. It was so real. And I have to say, it should have clued us in, like there was no noise. You know, Jamie, we would have, once he got close enough, we would have heard his feet thumping on the trail, right? You know, as he's running, because he was running fast. But there was no noise. So, but it all just, I don't know. That's just that's one of my little spookies there. So let's see here. As I was going over my story, we had lots of chat. So let me see here. Andre says, for some reason, women I have dated seem to be able to see ghosts better than I can, which is not very well. You just get a feeling and know something's not right, but they can see the shapes of the ghosts. Right. Yeah. Well, you know, different people have different capabilities in regards to all sorts of things. But yeah, but like you said, even though you can't see it, you could still feel it. And that's, you know, that, I mean, I once had, it's really bizarre how your body knows things. I once had someone break into my house while I was asleep in my bedroom. It was this house. They broke into my house. They prowled my home while I was asleep. Not only did they prowl my home, they went into my bedroom while I was asleep. Now, how I know all of this is because the next morning I woke up and like, well, what clued me in was, hey man, where's my weed? Like I had one little bit of weed left that I knew that I had a little bit of weed left because I had saved it from the night before, because I had made plans with myself, because I like to smoke weed every day. Basically a drug addict knows how much drugs they still have on hand, right? And so being a weed addict, I knew exactly how much weed I had left. I had one bowl of weed to start my day off before I would have to go back to the weed store and get more weed. Like this was the setup of the day, right? I knew this. Well, when I woke up on Sunday morning, my weed was gone. And it's like, there's no way. I wouldn't have smoked it and not remembered. I wouldn't have smoked it to begin with because there's a million. So it's like, what is the deal? But then there was just little things. Nothing except for the weed was missing. But there was just little things. And I couldn't help but think, someone has been in my house. Now, I didn't know until the next day. I didn't have confirmation that someone had been in my house until the next day when my neighbor told me about this dude that he saw and blah, blah, blah. And then what really confirmed that there was somebody that had been in my house while I was asleep in my house, my cat door that you guys are pretty familiar with, I noticed that someone had blocked the cat door. Now, it would never block my cat door. And I had a friend who had been in my house, who like had done something at my house a few days prior. And so I called him up and I was like, I know this is a really weird question, but did you block off my cat door? And he was like, no, why would I do that? And that's a dumb, weird, what? You know? And so I explained to him what happened and he got freaked out. So anyway, he didn't block off the cat door. I didn't block off the cat door. As far as I know, nobody else had been in my house, but what was blocked off, what was the box that was blocking the cat door off, that box had been in my bedroom. So whoever was in my house went into my bedroom. He probably got into my house. The cat freaked out, left through the cat door. He realized there was a cat door there and he didn't like the noise that it was making, probably afraid that it would wake me up. So he blocked off this is all conjecture on my part. So he blocked off the cat door so the cats wouldn't be able to go in and out while he was still in my house. But the box that he used to block off the cat door, yeah, that was in my bedroom. And this isn't like a haunted, freaky story, but my point is, even though he was no longer in my house, and even though I didn't know for days later that yes, indeed, somebody had been in my house, the morning after that dude was in my house, I could feel that somebody had been in my house. Now, I also at that time was telling myself, you're flipping crazy. Why would that, what are you even thinking? It wasn't until much later that all the pieces fell into place, and I won't get into all of the details that came to the firm conclusion that yes, indeed, somebody had been in my house. But yeah, energy can leave traces. And yeah, I know I sound like a weird hippy dippy whatever, but that was my experience. So there you go. Let's see here. So Kenny, you're not sure how much longer you can hang on. So many buried memories of terrifying things are coming back, things you don't want to remember, things you won't speak of. Well, hey Kenny, I did not mean for this to be a trigger of a stream. So if you need to step away and go watch some happy Hawaii sunsets or something, by all means, feel free. This was definitely not meant to be a horrifying experience. Let's see here. So Rick, okay, Rick's got a story. I have a story about an early farm family in the area around our cabin in the late 1900s during a bad winter. The farmer's wife and the two kids starved out and died, as the story goes. After burning them on the farm, the farmer then ran off into the woods and was never seen again and never found. Oh, well, that just sounds like the perfect beginning of a horrible haunting story. So let's see here. Yeah, and where do I still get goosebumps? I kind of do, actually. I kind of do, thinking about it. I know who it was that was in my house. He's a dude that lived... Yeah, I don't even want to... I know who it was that was in my house. I mean, I don't know, but I know. It actually was kind of funny. So my neighbor who witnessed things that made everything fall into place, my neighbor described the guy, and it was just like, Ira, this is not helpful. My neighbor described the guy as, well, he's kind of young, and he looks clean cut. But when you look at him closely, he's not. And he walks really slow and creepy. And that's how he described the guy to me. And it's just like, well, that's useless, Ira. That is not a helpful description. Oh, yes, it was. I was on a walk and I saw this dude and I was like, yeah, that guy kind of looks clean cut and he's walking slow and creepy. And when I got close to him, I knew exactly. It was like, that's the fucking guy. Ooh, wow, that's the guy. Sorry there, guys. I meant to I muted the wrong one in my mouth. Yeah, that was the guy. I gave him the dirtiest look. I feel like he knew that I knew that he knew that I knew that he knew or whatever. But the cops knew who he was. He prowled houses all around, all the time. What really bothered, it wasn't the first time he'd been in my house either, I'm sure. But really bothered me though was that I didn't wake up the whole time that he was there, and neither did my dog. That's what's really strange. So, let's see here. Okay. Whoa, what? Thomas the Turtle, scariest story was when my grandpa had to exorcise a demon from an old Japanese man who lived in the old shack behind his home. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to hear about that. I mean, I wouldn't, if you've got details, I would like to hear about that. I'm not sure I'd want to experience that, is what I meant to say about that. Michi Mama, okay, so that Mexican tradition in Coco is so similar to Japanese Oban celebration. Oh, is that what Oban celebration is? I didn't know that. Okay, so similar to Japanese Oban celebration. They believe the dead come back to visit, and the dancing is to guide the spirits. I had no idea that that's what that was. So the Bon dances are part of... See, I'm learning something new every day. Thank you so much for sharing that. I had no idea. So let's see here. Belly Bear, true story. My mom's neighbor and son packed up and split with all their cats in a truck and car. They got pulled over and were... Oh, wait, hold on. Well, I like the story with the cats, but now I'm not sure I do. True story, says Belly Bear. My mom's neighbor and son packed up and split with all their cats in a truck and car. They got pulled over. Cats were taken away, I guess in Northern California. Mom and son were found dead in Oregon with a close-range bullet. Well, I'm not so sure that's paranormal. That's just normal. I mean, That's just normal, isn't it? That's just a normal murder. That's awful is what that is, actually. So did they ever find out who did that to them? Yeah. So let's see. So okay, so Elaine, yeah, you were thinking that Oban is similar to Day of the Dead. Your mom did the whole Okinawan style foods every year, which I didn't learn. Oh, that's too bad. But you do light incense in Oban. Okay, okay. You know what? I think it's so funny. I have some friends that have family that are from Okinawa, and I don't know if this is just their family's perspective or not, but if you ask them if they're Japanese, they are like, "No, I'm Okinawan." Like they don't consider themselves part of Japan. They're like they're their own thing. And I kind of love that. Yeah, so that's total tangent there. Um yeah, so let's see here. Rick says, let's see, hold on. Got it. I'm getting so confused here. All right, where did we go? Oh, wow. All right. So Rick says, I never believed it, but on one of my hikes on the top of the hill where the farmhouse foundation was, I found 3 stone piles on the very top of the hill, and you felt a presence there in the silence. Well, there you go. Yeah. I mean, belief or not, it doesn't mean you can't feel it. Yamamoto-san, good to see you. Yeah, we're talking some scary Halloween stories, and some of the stories are scary spirit stories. We have ventured into some scary crime stories, which was kind of inadvertent, but scary is as scary does. So sometimes that happens there. Michael Anthony Smith, I hope I had him arrested. No, I did not have him arrested. I did not call the cops. I have reasons for that, which I won't get into. But the cops have, this guy's in and out of jail constantly. The cops know who he is. The cops know that he breaks into houses. It's what he does. Not only do the cops know, like everybody in this neighborhood has been broken into by this guy. And the thing is he doesn't take anything. I mean, except for that little piece of weed or whatever. He doesn't take anything. That's his thing. Or if he does, he'll like take a $5 bill. Like he never steals anything from anyone. He just goes in and prowls, which is almost even more creepy than if he took stuff. But because he doesn't take anything, he's in and out, boom, boom, in a heartbeat. He's been arrested for prowling so many times. There's no point in getting the guy arrested. So, and I like I said, I had my reasons for not calling the cops, but even if I had, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered. So, Andre, you remember taking the scenic drive out of Heiau and stopped at this lovely swimming hole under a bridge being fed by irrigation tunnel that you could see the stream on the other side. So you were startled. Let's see. You were startled. You were going down it, or you started and you're going down it, and midway down the tunnel, something said, "Do not go any further or it won't be good." And my logic said, "Am I just tripping?" And your gut said, "Yeah, get out of here." Yeah, exactly. I had a friend who many years ago was growing weed in a public area. This was before it was legalized. And the cops figured it out and this, that, and the other thing. And he was on the run from getting arrested. And he was hiding on a riverbank. And by the way, this guy does not believe in God. He's not a religious guy. He doesn't believe in God. But he was on this riverbank. The cops were above him on the riverbank, and he was convinced he was on the verge of getting caught. So he was about to jump in the river, the Green River, by the way. And he was about to jump in the river, and he had his shoes off, and he was just about to leap in when he heard a voice as he describes it, I heard the voice of God. Like I said, he doesn't believe in God. I heard the voice of God say, "If you go in there, you will die." And so he didn't. And he stayed hunched on the riverbank and he didn't die. But yeah, to this day, he would swear on a stack of Bibles that, he heard that voice. That was a voice he heard. Sort of like you, Andre. It's like, don't go in there. Don't go in there. Thomas the Turtle, you drove up to Kilauea at night. It was like driving to hell. Oh, I bet. With just the lava and the smell of sulfur. Yeah, that's probably as close to driving into hell as you can get, huh? Andre, I know, right? You always suspect the clean cut guys are the ones hiding something. I don't even get me started, hon. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Um, so Rick says that farmhouse was a mile off the road in the woods, a long walk just to find it, so not too many people disturb it up there. It's kind of nice that they don't disturb it, because it sounds like it maybe is a resting place for a reason. I mean, it just needs to remain a resting place, is what I'm trying to say. So, Michi Mama, it's an insult to Okinawans to be called Japanese. Okay, so then obviously not just my friend's family. Okay, all right. Thomas the Turtle, after the old Japanese man moved away, Grandpa burned down the shack. Well, yeah, kill it with fire, right? I mean, yeah, exactly. So, let's see here. Devin says, the house I grew up in, it was an old house. I was getting ready and it had a thick hardback book that I was putting it back on the top shelf, and it slid all the way to the back, so it was well away from the edge of the shelf. I was looking down at the attached desk and heard a shht, then slam, and the book was slammed flat on the desk, scaring the flip out of me. We had a legit poltergeist. Well, Devin, that is actually a perfect intro to the second story. I'm not sure if Kenny is still here, but Kenny did send me another story, and I have to say, quite similar. Let's get into that. All right, so Kenny says, when my dad passed away in 2010, I inherited the house, and it was decided that I would keep the urn containing his ashes. I chose to put his urn on the same table where my mom's ashes picture box urn is kept. She passed in 2008. That is Mom right there. Kenny sent some pics. So that's Kenny's mom. I wanted to put a few things on and around Dad's urn. That's Dad's urn, by the way. I found an old photo of him as a teen and in uniform when he was in the U.S. Army Air Corps. That looked okay, but I still wanted at least one thing that I could put on top of the urn. After a little digging, I found his Killeen School District 10-year service pin. They give you one for each 5 years that you have with the district, and I thought this would be a perfect addition to his display. So this is what the medal in theory looks like. So Kenny continues, what I failed to remember when I chose that pin was the fact that my dad had parted ways with the school district on very bad terms. He was extremely bitter about it, refusing to discuss the issue with anyone. When I set the little plastic box on top of his urn, as soon as I let go of it, it slid off the urn's lid and landed face down. This is the urn we're talking about here. That teddy bear was not there, just the little pin in the box. So when I set the little plastic box on top of his urn, as soon as I let go of it, it slid down the urn's lid and landed face down on the table that the urn rests on. Being a carpenter and knowing what I know about how old houses are built, I started rationalizing and testing theories. Maybe I accidentally bumped the urn or the box and knocked it off. After all, I wasn't looking directly at it when I let it go and started to turn away. I put the pin box back, and as soon as I let it go, and while I was looking right at it, it slid off and landed face down on the table again. I went to my toolbox and I got my torpedo level. As I suspected, the urn lid was perfectly level. Maybe it had something to do with the pin box itself? So to test the theory, I got my 10-year pin box out and sat his and mine on the urn at the same time. I put mine on first, and then Dad's. Mine stayed where it was. Oh no. Where did I go here? Mine stayed where I put it. Mine stayed where I put it, while his slid off yet again. I finally opted to put a stuffed bear with giant plastic heart atop the urn. The bear is still there today. But since my house is on pier and beam as opposed to a solid concrete foundation, before I went with the bear, I left my pin box on the urn lid and jumped up and down on the floor, trying to create enough vibration to rock the box off the urn. I did manage to make a couple small things fall over, but not the pin box on the urn. So now, this is his pin box that he tried to knock off of the urn. Shortly after that, while I was going through my dad's stuff, looking for some important papers, you found his pin and box again. Only this time I noticed that the foam pad that the pin is clasped to was completely decomposed except for the part that had melted onto the face of the pin itself. My, Kenny's, 6 service pins are packaged the exact same way. The foam keeps them from rattling around in the box, and none of them has had the corroded film issue. This is the corroded film issue that Kenny is referring to. So, strange? Hard for say. What do you think? So yeah, that's a little bit weird. Definitely a little animosity still being felt from the afterworld, I think. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, exactly, Darlene. Devin, your story would have left for good. Yeah, with that. So yeah, that is pretty scary. So Andre says you have to give the dead food in Japanese and Chinese or money and things in the afterlife, or the spirits will come back as hungry ghosts. So that's why in some Asian markets they sell dead money. Oh, interesting. I had no idea. Okay, so Terry Gilmore, you are ethnically Okinawan, or you are half Okinawan, which is ethnically distinct from Japanese. Okinawa is a political prefecture of Japan, but it has a different culture and language, etc. Oh, I did not realize that they had a different language. I did know that they had their own sort of culture, which it would make sense if I'd thought long enough that the language would also be different. I just, well, I'm a Westerner, and so Okinawa is just part of Japan, right? It's like, well, sort of, but not really. So Devin, okay, so at that house, I'm assuming your mom saw a ball of light that would float through the house. Lights would turn on by themselves. Not really scary, just weird. Yep, exactly. Well, I've seen, as I said earlier, I've seen those balls of light, and yeah, that's quintessential haunting, as it were. So, Belly Bear, Ted Bundy was very clean cut. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ted Bundy is the reason why I have suspicion of super clean cut people, or super clean cut guys, especially. So, let's see here. It looks like Michael Anthony Smith is finally giving up his tech battle and heading to bed because of emotional trouble. So yeah, I understand that. Your bed is always where you want to be when the emotions are running rampant. Or actually, I can't speak for you. I can just speak for me. So, Andre says, Ted Bundy was clean cut, but you look at him and you know something not right about the guy. I don't know, man. I mean, it turns out, in hindsight, that might seem obvious, but I mean, it sounds like from all other accounts, he was a charming bugger who, really could talk your ear off and make you think you're all good. So let's see here. Oh, Darlene, you're heading to bed too. Yep. Sunday night, time for moi moi. All right. Happy Halloween. I'm so glad that you guys were able to join Chatter with Statter here for our spooky Sunday evenings. Yes. So Andre, Okinawa was governed by the U.S. for decades after World War II and then handed back to Japan. Well, no wonder the Okinawans are just like, screw all y'all. I'm my thing. You're not my thing. I'm not that thing. I'm sure as heck not that thing. I'm my own thing. I know I'm sure that's exactly what the Okinawans say. Yeah. So, E-music. So, okay. Oh, really? E-music. So you lived in Volcano and could hear drum sounds before eruptions. The scientists said the drum sounds come from the crater. Yeah, the drum sounds there's so many potential legitimate scientific reasons for noises that could sound like drums. On the other hand, oh, I mean, the drums are. You telling me that Pele don't got no drummers? Right, yeah, I think she might. That's all I'm saying, right? You know. Let's see here. So, Thomas the Turtle, they get one new Ghostbusters movie. They let all the monsters out of the Ghostbusters box. Oh, you know what? Hey, I'm going to write that down. I don't know how we missed this for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for Halloween. But I've never seen the old Ghostbusters movie, but you know, I actually have heard the new Ghostbusters movie isn't that bad. So maybe we can do a Ghostbusters Statterbox at the cinema. And I do believe for Statterbox at the cinema, we might go with. I asked people for some Thanksgiving related movies, and I believe there's a Addams Family movie that centers around Thanksgiving. So even though Addams Family is semi Halloween-y-ish, I think I'm going to try to sneak Addams Family, the one that's about Thanksgiving, into our Statterbox lineup for November. So I haven't found it yet, so I'm not promising it's going to happen, but I'm working towards that happening. So there you go. And let's see here. So Belly Bear says, my Filipino dad, who was very macho and very proud, but while in the Philippines, he had to have a light on and a religious statue because everybody there believes in ghosts. Yeah, you know, if you can't beat them, join them. I mean, just, you know, yep, you say I need this. All right, we'll do that. We'll do that. Yep. So Rick, does anyone use Activid streaming for movies? I don't know what that is, so my answer is no, but obviously we're going to do a Google search about that. Hold on. Got to write it down, though, because I won't remember if I don't. Yeah, you know, everyone says that the first Ghostbusters was great, and the second Ghostbusters, everyone, you know, there was a lot of backlash about it, but people who have actually seen the movie actually say that the second one is pretty flippin' funny. And I love Leslie Jones, so I don't have him. I kind of would like to see the second one. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so I don't really know if we've got any more scary stories. I think, wait, hold on. I've got notes and everything. I can't remember if I mentioned the scary stories that I was going to mention. I'm pretty sure I did. Clearly, they weren't that scary if I can't remember them. So, oh, here we are. All right, here's my notes. Oh yeah. Yep. I think I did. I think I told the good ones. I told all the good ones. So, let's see here. Yeah, it's time really, I think. It's time to reel it in. We're hitting on about an hour and 45 minutes, so we should probably wind it up real soon. And and the female one is hilarious. Leslie Jones is great. Exactly. Honestly, I can't really see anything with Leslie Jones in it being bad. Speaking of Leslie Jones, totally off topic from Halloween, she is the new host of Supermarket Sweep. I don't know if you guys remember that game show from back in the 80s. It's super cheesy game show, and I'll tell you what, I love it today as much as I loved it back then. Leslie Jones is a really good host for Supermarket Sweep. I think it's on Hulu. I know it's on TV. I don't remember what time or channel because I don't have a TV. But if you guys just don't want to think about anything and just want like brain fluff, Supermarket Sweep, hosted by Leslie Jones. Check it out. It's hysterical. Michi Mama. Okay, when I had to work the Maui canvas for Yellow Pages, I always slept with the lights on at the Kamaoli Sands condo. Just before I quit, I had a pressing incident in building number 10. A pressing incident. I had no problem with the Maui Banyan, but Kamaole Sands gave me a funny ceiling. Yes, we all had our own condos. That sounds pretty awesome, but what happened at the Sands? Because I have a feeling something might have happened at the Sands. Oh no, 33 degrees. That sounds chilly. E-music, you guys bundle up over there in Wisconsin. Yeah, so Michi Mama, you've got some great little stories there. You're like a magnet or something for creepiness, which is awesome. So Belly Bear says in 1991 was in Hilo, Hawaii, sightseeing near the banyan trees and water downtown. Was making fun of a legend. Oh, no, never make fun. All right. Was making fun of a legend about fishermen and videotaping the bay when suddenly a large spot of water hit me and ruined your camera. Never make fun. Yep. That was the ocean giving you a squirt of Prel right there. Gonna get that Prel to keep you in line. Even the ocean's got its own version of Prel. You got it. Oh, Rick, your thermostat said it's 72 and I'm not going outside. Good plan. So yeah, I know, Elaine, exactly. Michi Mama, was that pressing thing like mine? So Michi Mama, that's when something presses down on you when sleeping. Yes, I was so scared. I never slept in that bedroom again. Always slept in the living room. So yes, Elaine, that was that pressing thing like yours. Yeah, I've heard of those, and very, very glad that I've never experienced that. Fairly certain that if I had experienced that, I would not be one to just be like, hey, let's go stay at a haunted hotel like I was earlier in this stream. And I would probably go do. And then I would probably ask for a refund. Yeah. Yeah, and you're fighting with all your might to get up, but you just can't get up. The sleep terrors, the sleep demons. I have definitely heard of that. Kenny Casey, anybody that really feels the need to be scared, just come on by my house. Oh, you've got some creepy noises. Right. Yep. No, I'm not gonna go looking. That's a lie. I've already gone looking. Who am I kidding? All right. So yeah, if you're as crazy as I am, go visit Kenny, and then you can maybe visit his haunted house or something or other. I mean, I guess actually his house might be a little bit haunted, but with that urn letting Kenny know, I don't like these guys. Don't put this on my urn. Get this off my urn. Get this off my face. Get this out of my face. That actually reminds me, and this will be I think this will be a little closing story. My mom, she has been dead for like 20 some odd years, and she had this trophy from her bowling tournament that her team came in like first place. And I had that, the trophy had a clock built into it. So I had that clock / trophy in a box in my shed. A few years ago, I had to go through surgery, and my sister was freaking out over the surgery, and so she went to a psychic to see if I would survive the surgery or whatever. Anyway, she went to a psychic. So the psychic was like, yeah, your sister's gonna be fine, but I'm getting this vision. Something of your mother's is in a closet somewhere and blah, blah, blah. And she just described, she's like, I can't place. She's like, it's something electronic. She's like, I don't really know what it is, but it's away in a closet somewhere. She kept saying it was in a closet somewhere. And she said to my sister, you're going to hear it. It's something of your mom's, and it's going to come back, and your mom is going to use that device to let you know that she's still watching over you. So my sister told me what the psychic said, and she's just like, I don't know, I don't have anything in my closet. I don't really know, blah, blah, blah. So, so a few years after that, I'm in my backyard, and I hear this beeping, and it's coming from my shed. And it just so happens it's my dad, who was also dead. It just happened it was the day of my dad's birthday when this happened. Um, so I hear this beeping and it's coming from my shed, and it's like, what in the? And I hadn't been in my shed for years. So I unlock the shed and I go in, and boom, it's the alarm, the clock that was in my mom's trophy. The alarm had suddenly decided to turn itself on, and it just started randomly beeping. And I mean, nobody had been in the shed to turn that alarm on or not or whatever. Uh and so basically I took that and in the shed in a closet, and I remembered what the psychic said to my sister, and it was just like, huh, I wonder if this is what she was foretelling. Either way, I have the trophy in my bedroom now, so I don't know if that means my mom's in my bedroom hanging out watching me or whatever, but yeah, so, strange things, strange spooky things, huh? Um yeah. Shock. Oh no, my mom better not be watching me. She goes spin in her grave. Oh, yeah, I would be willing to bet that my mom probably is spinning in her, well, she's not really in a grave, but either way, yeah. No, the VCR wasn't flashing 12, 12, 12. And it was a clock with hands, so whatever. But still, though, it was the strangest thing that it was so random that the psychic had envisioned this thing, and then it actually ended up happening. It was just weird. Yeah. So yeah, okay, Kenny, you keep potpourri by their urns. They both love that aroma, so it keeps them pretty quiet, I think. Hey, there you go. There you go. Exactly. Okay, so maybe gonna have to feed me some potpourri to keep me quiet. I said we were heading out, and here I am. Bala ow, bala ow. This time, though, I do mean it. So we're going to hang out next Thursday, and from here on out on Twitch. This Spooky Stories on Sunday. This is our last YouTube hangout. So remember, same times as ever, just different places. And the reruns will Twitch keeps reruns up for about 14 days, but they'll be moved. The reruns, or the once the live stream's over, I will move them over to YouTube, so you can catch the reruns either on YouTube or on Twitch. But basically, the live stream is going to be Twitch only from now on. I know Andy moves to YouTube. I move to Twitch. I'm supposed to be a spinoff. I think maybe I'm more of a Ricochet. He goes one direction, I go the other. Not quite sure. But that is the plan right now. And who knows, plans might change. I might end up going back over to YouTube. But for now, we're doing Twitch. All right, then. So thank you guys so much for hanging out on this spooky Sunday when you could have been doing other things, what with it being a holiday. Really appreciate hanging out, and I'm so glad to have seen your spooky stories, read your spooky stories, shared your spooky stories. And eMusic, I know that you are not necessarily a huge fan of Twitch, but I'll tell you what, man, or not man, lady, I'll tell you what, come on over, because we're going to miss you if you don't show up. So we might even talk about you. Well, we'll just talk about how much we miss you. But still, we want you to hang out. So if you can make the effort to come over to Twitch, we would be super stoked. But you know what? If you don't want to do Twitch, I can appreciate that, because everybody's got their own scene. And if Twitch ain't yours, then Twitch ain't yours. And that is all good. So all right. So until next time, I will see you all. And thank you so much for hanging out on Chatter with Statter. It is a wonderful Halloween, and I hope it's great for the rest of the holiday evening. Don't forget to answer the door and give out the best treats possible. Check you later.